What's up, real ones? Welcome to Let's View It. It's me, your host in a good mood, Tyrone Cross. I'm in such a good mood, I'm gonna do it with my other hand, Tyrone Cross. And that was my weak hand. No, I'm not ambidextrous. I'm just that talented. But you guys want to know why I'm in a good mood? You won't believe it. No, I didn't win money. And yes, I still live on top of my girlfriend's parents' garage. You give up, you won't believe it. It's all because of the Caitlin Clark fans. That's right, the Caitlin Clark fans now bring me laughter and joy. Let me explain. At least this is how it is for me. You know how when something or somebody is very irritating, but then they turn up the irritation and it gets even more ridiculous, and then the level of ridiculousness gets so high that for some reason the feeling of irritation slowly starts to transform into humor and comedy. It's just so ridiculous you can't even get mad at it, you just laugh at how ignorant they are because you can't believe it. You can't believe there's actually people out here that think these things, feel these things, and at the same time claim to not be trolling. And right now the Caitlin Clark fans have reached the highest levels of ridiculousness that I can never be mad at them anymore. I just use them for entertainment and comedy. And it's so great. It makes me laugh. It's wonderful. And I thank them. And these crybaby Caitlin Clark fans right now are crying because Dejanay Carrington mocked her for flopping. But the thing about the CC fans is they're kind of like herpes. For some reason, they're able to spread their whole crybaby softness around to people who get too close to them. And you would be shocked who gets a case of the crying Caitlin Clark complaining complex syndrome. And you would think that most of these sports commentators would be immune to catching the Caitlin Clark cranial clot. But even Skip Bayless caught a case of the Caitlin Clark. And right now, I'm going to show you a video from Undisputed. Hopefully copyright doesn't get me. Maybe I'll try to work around it with some video editing or something like that. I don't know. I've never actually taken a clip of like a big channel like this. So hopefully they just let me play this clip. But anyways, on this Undisputed clip, you got Rachel, Keyshawn Johnson, and Skip Bayless discussing the whole thing about Dejanay Carrington mocking Caitlin Clark by going like this.
That's all she did.
So you already know. Let's view it.
Carrington was called for a foul on Clark and appeared to mock her for flopping or at least exaggerating the contact. Rachel, what did you see here?
I saw two athletes in a highly competitive situation. I mean, the Sun were probably always going to win this game. I mean, you're talking about like Pistons versus Nuggets here in terms of their position.
They are 10-1.
Right, exactly, yeah. in the WNBA.
Yep.
But I saw athletes playing basketball. I am exhausted by having to pretend that the women have to play a different kind of game. That that Carrington is rude? That's so rude. That was bad sportsmanship. Guess what? We see it all the time. Caitlin is not a delicate flower. We have to stop pretending that. She is an athlete. She knows how to play basketball. And in the NBA, we see it over and over and over again. People sort of exaggerate contact or flop, then they get mocked for it. We see it over and over again. How many times has Chris Paul mocked Patrick Beverley? How many times has Patrick Beverley mocked Chris Paul? We're seeing some highlights right now of guys who exaggerate contact, and then there's like motioning on the floor and the flopping and all of that. Look, right there, okay? I mean, it is just, this is how the game works. Why can't women play the same game that the men do? Why are we talking about manners? Why are we talking about she was mean to her? That is not basketball. Luka's doing it right now. Carrington's allowed to do it, and Caitlin can handle it. Like, I just want us to stop treating these women as if they don't deserve the same chances to get their fingernails dirty, to play a game, to know what it means, to play hard, to care, to do the flagrant fouls, to do all the stuff the men get to do. Why don't we give the women of the WNBA credit for that without evaluating where they mean to each other?
So literally everything Rachel just said is absolutely correct. The men do it all the time. We don't sit there and say, stop being mean to him. Be nice to Chris Paul. He doesn't deserve that. He deserves respect. Look, LeBron is considered a huge flopper. Everybody knows LeBron flops. He gets mocked all the time. People literally make like 2-hour YouTube videos of him just flopping. Well, guess what? Caitlin Clark is a flopper. She is getting the reputation of being a flopper. So if she gets the mocking treatment that floppers get, why are you mad?
As far as the other point you brought up with the benching, or, she didn't play, basically the whole starting five got benched. 4 of the starters got benched. She left the bench unit that was playing better in. That is a typical coach's move. It's not like Caitlin specifically was benched. She was trying to send a message to her starters about effort, and we see that again all the time in the NBA. It's not a surprise to see it in the WNBA.
Again, she's absolutely correct. And I believe it was earlier this season that the Boston Celtics coach benched all his starters because they weren't trying and they were getting blown out. This happens throughout basketball. Throughout the history of basketball, this has happened. When your starting five is playing that crappy, or it seems like they're giving no effort, they can get benched. You don't want a starting five thinking that no matter what they do, they'll never get benched. That's ridiculous. So the coach has to send a message sometimes to the starting five as well and say, sit your ass down and watch how people play hard. Now let's hear what Keyshawn Johnson has to say about this.
Caitlin Clark is in a no-win situation most of the time now, right? I mean, if you bench everybody and don't bench her, the first thing we're going to say is, well, they benched everybody and they bench Caitlin Clark, so they're trying to get her minutes and get her points. We're going to spin it the way we need to make ourselves a story out of it. Look, Rachel, I understand exactly what you're saying. Everybody in the NBA does that to get the referee's attention. All you're doing is saying she's jerking her head back. Luka does it all the time on the offensive end. And they give him the foul. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So I don't understand why people are having a problem with her fake flopping and then somebody mocking her. Okay, so what's
all the time.
Yeah. I mean, in football, if somebody holds you, ref, he's holding me. And the guy's like, I ain't holding him. Or a guy said, pass interference, he's pushing me. He's pushing off. You're just trying to communicate to the referee to get the attention so next time it happens, he's aware and he's looking for those sort of things. So it's not a mock to me. I'm laughing at it because it's not that big of a deal. It really isn't. It's not that big of a damn deal, Skip.
Now, before we let Skip talk, Keyshawn Johnson, again, is absolutely correct. This is not a big deal. To anybody that competes in sports or watches sports all the time, no one cares about that. We like it because it shows that there's actually passion there, that they actually care. When players are going at each other and jawing at each other, that means they're competing with each other. I get it. The trophy era has ruined all of that. Participation trophies for everyone. Even the first place team has the same size trophy. No wins matter. Well, the truth is they matter, and we love it when they matter. This is not a big deal at all. This would have never made any story whatsoever, except to Caitlin Clark and her new soft-ass fans. Now let's listen to Skip Bayless.
Watch the whole game, and I will tell you that she gets after Caitlin Clark in a great way, and it is extremely physical, and she takes it as a badge of honor to shut down Caitlin because she's done a great job on her three. Again, why they played 3 times already, I don't know, because they played twice in the first week.
It's not that many teams in the WNBA.
But they just keep playing the same teams over and over again. I don't get it, but whatever. And they are 10-1. They lost 1 game to the Liberty by 7. So they're really good, and they were in the semifinals last year and lost to the Liberty in 5 games. Yeah. So, or no, 4 games. It was 3-1. So the point is, they're loaded. They're really good. And this is the first year Dejanay Carrington has gotten to start. So she's taking this as her showcase every time, because this was on NBA TV last night, and that place was sold out in ways it's not usually sold out, because there are a whole lot of Caitlin Clark fans in the stands. So again, she knows she's in prime time for them and for her. And I thought it was a little mean-spirited. I thought she was taking it a little too seriously on Dejanay's part. She was
mean-spirited? Mean-spirited? They are competing with each other. Dejanay Carrington, if it was up to her, Caitlin Clark would have -20 points. She doesn't want her having anything. She doesn't want her even functioning or concentrating or having a strong mental on the court. That's why she's doing those things, to mess with her brain. They're competing, Skip. How does Skip not get this? He's been covering sports so long, he's seen rock throwing in the Olympics. But all of a sudden, he thinks it's mean-spirited to mock poor Caitlin Clark. Don't make fun of her flopping. That's mean. They got to him. They got him infected with the cranial Caitlin Clark CLOT. Honestly, I don't know what I've been calling it. If you guys know me, you know none of this is scripted. So whatever I was saying back then, I have no idea.
It showed no respect for Caitlin Clark because Caitlin doesn't, she doesn't antagonize, she doesn't talk.
So the fact that I'm showing the referee that she's using her head or whatever, making it seem like...
It was just disrespectful.
How is that disrespectful?
Because she's the first pick in the draft and she deserves better than that.
What did she do?
Does.
But what did the young lady do?
Why does she deserve better than that? Because she's the first pick in the draft. So if she was the 20th pick, then it's okay? Or the 9th pick, is it okay? Exactly at what pick does it become not okay? And what new CC fan is writing for Skip?
Bro, Skip, you losing me.
It has nothing to do with competing because they're competing at the highest level.
I'm letting the referee know that when I'm sliding and I'm guarding her and she's dribbling, she's pushing off on me to make it seem like...
And I didn't see any of that in that.
You just could see it.
No, I don't see it at all. I thought it was just basketball.
Out of the frame, you're so passionate.
Yes, it's basketball.
See, this is what Caitlin Clark does to you.
It's basketball.
It's what she stands for.
How is Skip gonna turn it around? Clearly, everyone can see what he's talking about. We all know what he's talking about. Rachel knows what he's talking about. The only one that's way off is Skip. But he's gonna say, see, that's what Caitlin Clark does to you. Well, Caitlin Clark made you a softie that doesn't even understand competition anymore.
Something about what she stands for.
So she's supposed to just get a pass.
No.
Because that's what you're saying.
No.
Nobody should say anything about...
That wasn't a flop. She didn't do anything. She just drove the basketball and got fouled.
That's not a flop. A flop is when you fall down on the ground.
I understand.
But when you're using... when you're doing the Luka thing with the head, and I'm the defender, and I'm sliding, and I'm not doing anything...
She's doing it on defense.
In all fairness, it's not a flop. She's just whipping her head back to make the contact seem more exaggerated. And you do it to make it seem worse. So it's still acting.
Just did it on offense.
And we just saw a clip of Luka mocking someone for he thought exaggerating a foul. So he does it. Everyone does it. I would love unsportsmanlike or mean or any of those words out of everyone's conversation.
Nothing y'all saying right now.
Talking about the women.
Well, it just blew up last night on social media because of what she represents.
It 100% did. It was a huge flashpoint. But my frustration, and you can hear it in my voice, is it absolutely blew up. It is absolutely a conversation point, but it shouldn't be. And this is what is frustrating as a woman watching female athletes is why can't women get to play the same game the men do and have it not, the behavior not categorized as mean or catty or any of that stuff? It is competitive. It is hard-nosed. The reason why women should be able to play sports the same way men should is because they should have those same opportunities.
But
we talk all the time about, oh, this is what sports does for boys and men, and it turns and build the character, and it does all that stuff. Why aren't women entitled to that too? We should get the full game. Women should be able to play the full game, and that means that stuff too.
I have no problem with either side. I have no problem with Caitlin intentionally drawing a foul, and I have no problem with Dejanay saying, I didn't foul her. She's just using her head and making it seem like I fouled her. I don't have a problem with that. That's for the referees to determine whether it was a foul or not. But then for you to say she shouldn't be like, she shouldn't do that.
Just disrespect. I come across as mean-spirited.
What the hell are you talking about, Skip?
Her own teammates don't show a lot of respect for her. They don't.
I don't have anything to do with Caitlin Clark's teammates. We're talking about this particular
just the
play.
Resentment of her. It's just And she doesn't create it. It's just, she just is. You know, she doesn't antagonize. She doesn't talk. She did say something back to Carrington as she walked away, like, give me a break. Yeah,
She's
which
an
is she
athlete.
should.
She should. I don't have anything with that. That's the way they should play.
And by the way, I do, the fact that it blew up on social media last night, there's a fun element of that too. It's not just frustrating for me. There is a fun element because I love it when we have little tips. I love the petty in the NBA, right? So
petty.
I like when a play blows up on social media and we're all like, oh, no, he didn't, like that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So I'm okay with that. I just don't understand why the analysis of this NBA season for so many people online and in a lot of other places has been, oh, well, they shouldn't get to do the same things that we see in the NBA over and over and over again. I just think, and Caitlin, to your point, she has faced a lot of that resentment, and she's handled it so beautifully.
She has. Well, she just doesn't handle. I mean, she just goes on. She just keeps on
as she
playing.
should.
Yeah. And by the way, I loved what Dejanay did to take out her frustration because about 3 minutes passed and we're getting near the end of the half. If we could see what happened at the end of the half.
Yeah, that's
because
the other
this is
thing.
what.
Look, this would never be a story if it wasn't for the new soft-ass CC fans. They don't know sports, they don't get it, and they just don't want anybody being mean to CC. Now, how Skip caught it, I don't know. I don't know who he's been hanging out with, what dirty people he's been hanging out with, that he caught the Caitlin Clark cranial clot or whatever it is. It's something for sure, and it's definitely contagious. And what it does, you see, these are the symptoms. You become a huge fanatic of Caitlin Clark, and all of a sudden you'll see none of her flaws. But that's just the start of it. Then you start becoming a crybaby and really soft inside, while simultaneously you will have no basketball knowledge and no ability to obtain it. Then, complicating the matters, you will have an urge to defend to the death Caitlin Clark and her GOAT status. Even though it's an impossible feat, you will try racism, hate, jealousy, mockery, projection. You will try everything in the book to defend Caitlin Clark. And as far as I know, to this date, there has been no cure found. It's highly contagious, but uncurable. So to anybody out there that has to deal with someone that has this syndrome, that has the Caitlin Clark cranium clot, forgive them. Don't get mad at them. Don't get irritated with them. Laugh with them. Laugh at them. Enjoy the material they're gonna give you. They're highly entertaining, and you just kind of gotta go with it. Until we could do more research to try to reverse this whole thing, we gotta embrace it and just enjoy it. They are here to stay. At least it seems that way for a while. But now that you know, Caitlin Clark fans now bring me humor and laughter, because really they're just a bunch of crybaby pink velvet sausage wallet sissy lalas. All I need you guys to do is comment below. Tell me what you think. Have the new CC fans started entertaining you too? Or have you been infected with the Caitlin Clark cranium clot? But while you're telling me your thoughts, I'm also gonna need you to hit that bell like the hunchback. Also click that hit checker button and sub ride with me. And I'll see you on the next trip.
Day and night. Keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real. All my life. Keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real. Can't help I keep it real.